right, yes, sir, baby. It's on the radar. Yo, my guy calling in from the BX, Joe Bread. What up?
What's popping? What's popping?
Yo, man, welcome to the show. I'm super excited to connect with you. You know, I was telling you before this, I love just being able to connect with local artists like yourself. And why I'm also so excited that you're on the show here with me today is because like you drop music for like the first time in like 2 years on like Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify, all that stuff like that. How do you feel now? I guess having music back out, I guess for the first time since 2019.
It feels great, man. I mean, last little run we did, we was on the radio with Dream about it. Since then I had a little run-ins with the law, little legal troubles, but that was a little setback. But we back now and it feels great. I can't even tell you how it feels. Like it's just to get all that love back and just the feeling back is words can't describe it.
Now, with your legal situation, everything okay? Everything good? Are you straight now, or
But
you
yeah, I'm
still
good
kind of
now.
going
I'm
through
good
it?
now. I'm good now. I could move around. I could do everything I got to do.
Blessings, blessings. Because whenever you see like that gap for artists in between, like 2019 and 2021, you're like, yo, what happened? So I wanted to, and I personally get worried because I'm like, oh man, I hope he didn't go through anything like too crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I hope that he's good and he's straight at the end of the day. So I'm
Appreciate
happy
that.
to see that you're in good spirits and you're just kind of happy to be back putting out music
Definitely.
again.
Definitely.
For all the people who don't know about you, because I want to get them a little backstory about yourself and how you got into this rap stuff. Give me a little history about Joe Bray, how you came up, how you got into music and all of that.
Well, first and foremost, it started probably like at 18, where we started taking it serious. And by 19, I had my first single on the radio called Money Over Everything.
Right.
Later on, probably like I was 21, 22, we had we had a song by the name of Blur on the radio. After that, it was probably at the age of 20. I forget, but we had a song called Sauce. Sauce was the first time that that term was introduced on the radio. I was the first one.
You were the
It's
first
on
person to say
record.
sauce.
It's on record on radio. Not the term sauce itself,
Oh, but on
but
radio.
on
Okay.
radio, I was the first one.
Okay. All right. I wanted to get
That
that
it's
clear.
there. You could look that up. And
That's
the
okay.
last one was Dream About It.
Right. Right.
It
Which
was
which you mentioned before. Now,
correct.
what I find interesting. So you said you were 18 or 19 when Money Over Everything was in the radio.
Right.
You were 19, right?
No, yeah, 19.
19. So when that happened, obviously, I've been told that, you were having like label meetings, here and there. What was that experience kind of like, dealing with people who wanted to sign you and kind of wanted to, I don't know, just wanted to bring you onto their label after, having this big record.
When you that age, all of that is glitter.
Right.
It's um
Like the razzle dazzle and shit.
yeah, it's like it's I can't explain it. It's more like you want that feeling, but you're also scared at the same time because you hear these stories about what's going on with labels and these deals and stuff. At the end of the day, that's all on you what you sign,
Right.
basically. But at that time we were more worried about like all the dumb stuff we were doing. So it was a blessing, but it
Yeah.
was like we were doing what we were doing. So
And I
yeah,
hear, and I hear that story a lot. And when it comes to artists, sometimes they just don't want to, you guys just be out doing whatever you want to do, and like, and being on the label might, affect that, and vice versa. So when it comes to, I guess, you're independent right now. I'm assuming, right? How do you
correct.
feel the independent? Do you like being independent? Do you wish that you had, done the label route? Like, where's your head at when it comes to that situation right now?
Honestly, I'm not mad at any of this decisions I made because honestly, now that I'm older and all that and experience everything I have experienced,
Hmm.
I can honestly tell you I wasn't ready for that back then at
Mm.
all. Like my mind is in a way better place. Like I know what I want for myself, and the independent route right now it is harder, but it will be worth it at the end of all of this. So that's
Right,
the
especially
route.
because
Like,
you get to keep like most of your music and royalties and things like
oh yeah,
that
that's the
too.
bonus. That's the bonus, of course.
And I love how you have such you have a good outlook on it. Like you even said you weren't ready back then, and that goes back to your point before where you see the things that kids who are 18, 19, they pop off, they sign these deals, and then 6-7 years later they're in a situation where they're literally fighting with their label on online, you know what I'm saying? And like
Right,
it's either
right.
they didn't read their deals, or they didn't look at it. They were just like, oh, you gonna give me 100 racks? Let me, but they don't know what that
Mm-hmm.
100 racks really means.
Right now they're just signing for watches, designer clothes, and cars.
Yeah, then
You get what I'm
that's
saying? Those type of deals. They're not worried about the long run.
you don't realize that those gifts from the labels also be like part of the money you got to pay them back at the end of the day.
That's a fact. That's an advance.
Which is like, it's just so crazy how that works. But I'm excited,
Mm-hmm.
that you're taking this independent route, and you just dropped this new single, Buck Roll, with Heez Karter, right? And
Correct.
first of all, I love the record. It gave me like a real Halloween type of vibe with like the artwork and the cover and whatnot. And I know
Definitely
you
spooky
guys are gearing
vibe.
up to, when we're recording this. The project isn't out, but I might drop this on the day of the project release. But you got the Spooky Carter EP, right? That's what we're titling it.
It's called Spooky Hours.
Spooky Hours. My bad. My bad. I put
Yeah,
Carter's name
yeah.
in there. Spooky Hours. Tell me about the project and everything going on with it.
Okay, so how the project came about? Well, me and he's been friends forever,
Mm.
and we both make music. And about 6 years ago, we already had this plan to put out this EP. But in the midst of all that, he gets locked up in the feds.
Oh man.
He does 5. And I get caught up with my legal stuff. And basically, he gets out. I'm dealing with this pretty much done. He's still dealing with his stuff, but we're both free doing what we got to do, and it's time now. So it's why not? You know what I'm saying? Like we're both able to make music.
Have you had these records for a while, or are they all
No, these are
fresh
all
that you?
brand new. These are all
Okay.
brand new. And the reason that on the Spooky Hours is spelled out spooky and then HRS instead of
Mm,
hours is
okay.
because we owe you for that time that we were gone.
That's so good. I like that.
That's a fact.
I like that. I like that. So this project obviously is your first project coming back, and obviously it's a collab joint. But I also have to ask the question, of course. Do you have your own solo endeavors that you are planning for this year or the future? Like,
Well,
what
yeah,
what do
it's
you want to
already
do
in the
now that
works. I
you're?
already started recording for that. I already started recording for the solo, so you could
What
be on the lookout for that. It's coming soon.
What do you want to do?
Definitely.
Like, what do you hope to accomplish now that you're kind of back in the game? You know what I'm saying? Like making up for lost time, and in this new year, which has already kind of started off better than than last year in many respects.
I just want to get. I just want to get back to that flow of things, just dropping music content. I just want to put my face back out there again and just show New York and the world what Joe Bread Gang, West Fordham Boys is all about.
How do you feel about like the current state of New York hip hop? Like, what's your opinion? And I always love asking this because I interview a lot of people from different boroughs, different parts of New York, whether even upstate. I like getting the opinions of everybody. So, what is your opinion about like New York hip hop right now?
It's dope because it's there's a bunch of different type of artists. It's not like kind of the same sound. It's spread out. You got your TJs, you got your Stunner Gambinos,
Right.
you got your Dice Pesos, Heez Carter. Like there's different sounds, and it's sad we lost Pop Smoke because
I know.
he was that was the next big thing from New York.
He was a new 50 Cent.
Oh yeah, definitely, no questions asked.
Yeah, and but where do if you look at these guys, right? All these guys who are out right now, who are some guys that you really would, see yourself kind of working with out here? Young, been around for a while, whoever.
Oh, like the guys that I named, definitely,
Like
no
TJ and
question.
all them.
TJ Stunner Gambino,
Stunner
or
Gambino's
the
hot, man.
or
I feel like people
he's
gotta
fire,
people
man.
gotta start talking about him more. I feel like I don't hear his name enough, but like
Yeah,
I
man.
see it
Dope.
obviously because I'm in this music shit, but I feel like people don't say it enough.
Yeah, from the Bronx too, man. Kid is dope.
And I like how like even the Bronx right now is having like a good boom of artists, because I feel like it happens in waves. You get your kids from Brooklyn, obviously, which is what we've been in.
Mm-hmm.
You get your
Mm-hmm.
people from Harlem, Uptown, Every now and then you get the Staten Island artists who come out of the island. But like now I feel like the Bronx is having a nice little moment when it
Yeah,
comes to
there's a
music.
few
And I
dudes
think
from Brooklyn that's fire too. Chef G's and them.
a
They
hundred
dope out
percent.
there. Yeah, they dope out there too.
100%. And I think it's cool how like the Bronx is starting to have its own movement of artists kind of really being out here and putting themselves
Oh
in front
yeah,
of
I love it,
everybody.
man. I love it because this is where it started.
That's my point. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's for so long, not that the Bronx has been like an underdog in it, but it's just, there hasn't been like a big resurgence of new talent in the forefront of the music. So I think we finally getting back to that point where the Bronx has like, people like yourself, Sana, like you said, everybody kind of outside and working and putting out the
Right,
music
right.
consistently.
That's a fact. I love it, man. That's why I said it is a beautiful time right now because you have so many artists you could pick from.
100%. And it's just like, and there's so, like you said, there's so many different styles, whether you like the melodic shit, whether you like, or you want some bars, you want some
You want some
drill.
drill shit. You want some girl joints.
100%. And yo, we also, there are a lot of dope female rappers coming out of the city too, which is also
Oh yeah,
amazing. So
definitely.
with you, when it comes to 2021, 2022 and beyond, where do you want to see your career go from here? Like what do you want or envision for yourself over these next couple of years now that you're in a space again where you could just consistently drop and put yourself out? You said content and whatnot, but what else do you kind of see for yourself?
I just want everything to grow. To be honest with you, I just want everything to grow organically and just flow with things. But when I say flow, I mean like typhoon flow. Like I want to flood this shit.
And I was like peeping some of your visuals before that you dropped over the past couple years, and I really fuck with them. And I'm like, and what was cool about your visuals is that like I feel like they're really like they're real like street like gritty, and I love that imagery, and I love how the new singles got that imagery too. Are you planning on doing more videos, and like are you directing them? Like how much of a hand do you have in your own visuals for your songs?
I have a pretty big hand in the visuals because I'm choosing these locations and more or less how we're gonna go about what we shooting. I'm very meticulous with things and very just like anal about things. Like things gotta match. It gotta make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just drop shit to drop shit. It gotta make it count.
Right. Because you never know what's gonna be what could have been the record or the video or whatever that could have gone viral.
What was that? It froze up.
Oh, my bad. I said you never know which record or which video or whatever could have been the video that gone viral, could have been the video that got you noticed by a label or radio or whatever.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yo, so
You
I'm
never
just
know. That's why you gotta give it your all.
100%. So also as someone who's been through a lot in their career, what advice would you have for these young dudes? Because we talked a little bit about the labels and whatnot. As someone who has been there before and who's someone who has gone through the ringer when it comes to what you've gone through the past year, what is I guess some of the best advice if there's like a young New York artist who's just starting out right now watching this interview, he's a fan of yours, he's just kind of getting his feet wet in the game. What would be like your advice to them?
If you chasing this dream, be prepared for the parts they don't tell you. Be prepared for the sleepless nights, the no's, you can't do this, you can't do that, but ignore all of that if you really want this. And time, how do I explain this? Time waits for no one, period.
Mm.
So take all the pictures you need to take when you're doing all these things. Thank everybody you need to thank. Appreciate everybody that's around you and holding you down while you going through this, because not everybody's gonna stick around for this. And just appreciate the time, man. Just really like take it all in. That's what's the most important thing about it.
Boom, man. There it is. Yo, it's been such a pleasure chopping it up with you today. I'm so happy to first of all learn about your story
Likewise.
because I didn't know all these things about you. And I think it's so cool, how much you've overcome and how much you've grown um over the past couple years and with the music that you put out. Before I let you go, is there anything else that the people got to know about? Obviously, new EP dropping, solo joints coming out, videos coming out. What else do the people got to be on the lookout for you?
Spooky Hours Tuesday. Go get that. Spooky Hours Tuesday. Me and Heez Karter, Joe Brad, West Fordham boys, Bread Gang. Shout out Migs, man. Shout out to Avery too.
Yes, yo.
Appreciate you for having me too, Gabe.
Nah, I appreciate you being here, man. Like I said, anytime that an artist takes out, to come chop it up with me is a blessing. And the fact that we can make this connection and, only build from here is just, another great moment in the city. You feel me?
That's a fact.
Let them know where they can follow you at too, man. Come on, we got to get those socials in there so we get you out there.
Follow me at Joe Brad WFB.
There it is. It froze up for a second, but we good. Yo, like I said, Joe Brad, has been a pleasure having you on the show today, man. I'm looking forward to the Spooky Hours EP and everything else you got going on. Thank you again for this time. And until next time, Joe Brad on the radar, baby.